The bottom, we have a very simple timeline with playback navigation controls, and the timeline has markers in it which the test creator can mark. So these are moments, and so the test creator can add a moment at any point where the playhead is, and these moments can be color coded. All these moments appear on the timeline in a horizontal progression. But in addition to this, you can also see the markers laid out in a list format vertically on the left. And the advantage of this is you can see the color and the name of the moment and the time of the moment. It's just an alternate way to view them. Below the list is a moment detail where the elements or metadata about a moment can be edited. And on the right, we have the actual video recording that was made. Now, the cool thing about this interface is it's very simple, it's very focused, but the simplicity is there at the beginning, but there's additional functionality that the test creator can invoke if they want to create more advanced annotation. Now, by default, when they create a moment, they only create a moment marker in time to share an interesting moment. But here in the metadata section of the left pane is a mark a span of time button. So when a moment is selected and then the mark a span of time button is clicked, for instance, let's say that the purple marker is selected and the purple marker appears here at the bottom, here in the list, but also right here in the timeline. And I want you please to focus in on this section of the timeline, this marker right here. Because if that was selected and the test creator clicked mark a span of time, what happens is they can mark a span of time. Now, this is different from my previous design in which there were span markers and point markers. Now, everything here is a moment, not a marker. It's a moment. And this moment is still defined by the moment that was created in the middle. There's just additional information to the left and to the right of that moment. And if you take a look over here, we now have a beginning span marker and a end span. But the initial moment is still here. So let's look over here to the left, and we're going to go back. And you can see that the marker is defined at the beginning over here, and this mark span of time button, when clicked, creates 2 additional times. If you want to delete that span and go back to just a point, clicking on this X will initiate that, so you can go back and forth, back and forth. This interface is dramatically simplified from my previous design, but still allows a majority of the functionality from that design. This new streamlined version allows for a lot less intimidating experience while still maintaining a majority of the functionality that a majority of the users will want. The additional elements to this design that I haven't mentioned yet allow for a greater degree of precision. For instance, we have a playback speed drop down here. We have a fast forward button here, which if clicked and held is a drop down to like fast forward 5 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever. There's also a loop button which allows the playhead to loop in a span of time or between 2 markers.